welcome to another video on Giles' Life of Cars, and this time it's not on the Mark 1 Focus or the Hyundai i20, but it is going to be another episode on some more brochures that I've purchased, but this time it's on, again, where it's the Ford Focus, but it's a Mark 2 variant, and the Mark 3 Focus, which my parents own, and I have driven. I am insured on it, so I am kind of connected with the Mark 3 Focus. So I just thought I'd buy them just out of interest, and thought I might as well make a video of them just to show them you and just go talk through them. So hope you enjoy the video and just hope this isn't all too nerdy for you. So let's go. Right, so here are the brochures in question. The Mark II Focus variant in question is the convertible, or the CC version, coupe convertible. It was a hardtop convertible version. The only Focus that was offered with a convertible option, even though with the Mark 1 they did have a concept version of it I've seen on the internet, but they never put it into production. But with the Mark 2 they did put into production in the late 2000s, like from like 2006 or 2007, I think, to like 2010, well, or end of Mark II production, should say 2011, I think it were, when the Mark II ended production. So yeah, this one's just a relatively small brochure, so we'll cover through that first, so no, that won't take long. The Mark III brochure is a bit more thicker and more in-depth brochure on the Focus. It's compared with the Mark 1 brochures, it's like the Mark 1 ones are A4 size brochures, whereas this one's more of a smaller, well, smaller size. It's not A4 size, it's more like A5 probably sized, but obviously there's quite a lot of pages to go through there. So yeah, I'll go through that shortly. Anyway, we'll start on the Focus CC, the Mark II Focus, the convertible version, and see, it's a very nice front picture. Yeah, I say you don't see many of them about, but I know I've seen one or two of, like, what there were one at a Mark 1 Focus meet last year, and it did look really nice, to be fair, even though I'm not I've never driven a Mark II Focus personally. So it does look nice, and yeah, and just has a bit more of an exclusive feel to it. And just on about best of both worlds, with it being a hard top, like the solid roof where it's up, it looks like a coupe, and down, that gives you the, with it folded away, it gives you the convertible version. And yeah, interesting read. And one thing I know what this brochure does, like I'll show you now, is it's got this little fold out, it's like an envelope kind of thing, and just if you flip it over like that, it's like gives you the change from coupe to convertible. Yeah, so that's a really neat little feature, and this is just like a thing you filled out when it was brand new at the time to book a test drive for the Focus CC. Yeah, so it's, see, this is just like one left over from like the dealers that wasn't used. So yeah, I do like that colour as well. I'll show you the colours at the end of this brochure, but I'd say it does look nice in that colour. Yeah, and that interior, like cream beige, like two tones, that a really nice one. Yeah, that was the one at where the one at the show last year that I saw had it was in that colour. So the interior was, anyway. It's really nice. Yeah, it's just about like the space in the back, and just like a wind deflector as well, for just give you that bit of protection and all that, make it less blowy when you have the roof down. Yeah, and it was Pininfarina that designed the Focus CC, and it's here just on about the Italian designer, just like it was also built by Pininfarina. Yeah, and just it's got the Pininfarina badge on down at the, I think it's down on the side here, like in front of the rear wheels, down around that area. Yeah, Yeah, interesting. Oh. Just trying to make sure I don't skip a page. I don't think I have. Yeah, and it just goes on to say how it's also suitable for using in winter, because usually with the convertibles with the fabric tops, they're usually not as suitable to winter conditions. I'd imagine. I've never had a convertible, so I can't overly comment, but from what things have been said, the fabric tops are less, they might be lighter, but they're also like not, they don't give us good protection from the cold and wets like the hard tops do. So Oh, yep, here it is. This is the spec page where it gives you the specs. So it came in 3 trim levels: CC1, CC2 and CC3. And yeah, they all seem to be really well equipped, like within the basic CC1 having the alloy wheels, CD radio, air conditioning, electrically operated door mirrors, and just like CC2 adding like 17-inch wheels, a Sony CD MP3 player, leather steering wheel, the heated windscreen as well. Just the top spec CC3s are getting different wheels and partial leather seats, cruise control. Yeah, and just different engines. Like the CC1 had the 1.6 litre engine, and the CC2 and 3 had the 2 litre petrol or the 2 litre diesel. Yeah, and here we have like the interior spec combinations that you can have. Yeah, that's the CC1 Piego in grey. Yeah, a lot of it looks nice. The colours look nice and a nice choice. And yeah, there's also some very good vibrant colours with the CC, and the colour names are down here, like the name of them. The pitch black, which is obviously one up there. Red hot, which I'd imagine is that one. Magento, which I presume would be that, like a silvery kind of colour. Blue de Chinny, however you say it. Imagine it's a kind of like that dark blue. Grenadine, I presume, is that red. I presume it goes down like this. Next one's Iris, which I presume is this like really dark grey. Luna, which I imagine is this one in the bottom corner, like a silvery grey brown kind of colour. It looks in this picture. Last one, aqua blue, which would obviously be this one in the corner. So yeah, some really nice, interesting colours there for the CC, and yeah, it's really nice. So as I said, this is a short, small little brochure, and this one's from July 2006. So I think this obviously would have been when it first came out, the CC. So yeah, it's only a small one, so that was just a quick look through that one. But yeah, it's you don't see many of them about now, the Focus CCs, and they are interesting, variant to the Focus that Ford made. And as I say, it's the Mark II was the only one that got the convertible treatment. So yeah, that's one standout feature from the Mark II that we can take from when Ford made the Focus. Yeah, so we'll move on here to the Mark III brochure here. This one is from April 2016. April 2016. This is at the facelifted Mark III, the Mark 3.5 some would call. But I bought this one because obviously my parents have the Mark 3.5 facelift, and just fancied having one just to add to my brochure collection. So yeah, I've had a look through this anyway, so just I'll show you through it with you now. Just quote from Henry Ford. no, not quote from him, just like, well, from, yeah, that's nice shot there of Mark III Focus. It's even though the camera, it looks like the same color that my parents' Focus has, it's actually the other red. I'll show you the names of the colors in a bit. I'll put up a picture of my mum and dad's Focus on screen now. So yeah, it is a different version, so even though the camera makes it look like a similar one, it's probably the lighting. But no, it's the other red, that one. Yeah, another nice shot there on the hatch, 5-door hatch. Oh, Mr. Page. Oh, yeah, and the estate. Yeah, it's just on about the updated Focus Act and given a fresh new look. I mean, it does look quite nice, the Mark III. In fact, the Mark 3.5, I'd say, it does look nice. In fact, all generations look nice. I'm not as fan on it's the pre-facelift Mark II that I'm not as keen on. Even the Mark IV looks all right, even though it's not the best, the Mark IV, but the Mark 3.5 is definitely one of the better looking ones, much like the Mark 1 facelift, and the Mark 3.5 I'd say is my favourite lookings of the Focuses, or Foci, however people call it. And again here, Ford promotes the control blade independent rear suspension, which the Mark 3.5 still adds. This was carried over from the Mark 1 and Mark 2. And again, they promote like how it delivers, how it like absorbs both horizontal and vertical rear movement and makes it more stable and making it better through the corners. So yeah, they were still promoting that with the Mark III, so that's nice to hear. Yeah, they're also promoting over the EcoBoost engines, or as people call them, the EcoBoom, even though my mum and dad's Focus has the 1-litre EcoBoost engine, the 125 horsepower, and they've not had any issues with it. It's the 1-litre 125 version, but I say here it came in the 1-litre 1.5 or 2-litre in the ST. So I think the EcoBoom, I think it just depends on like what you get. Some will probably be all right with, but obviously there's stories of like other Fords of this area, like the Fiesta Mark III Focus having the EcoBoom and the engines going pop. Yeah, it's on about some of the engines having the Econetic and the Focus electric version. See that then we didn't really have many Mark III Focus electric version. They never sold really that well in the UK. I can't recall ever seeing one. But obviously they would have been like around, and Ford were selling them, but obviously didn't do as well that compared with the petrol and diesel models. And here it's on about the safety features, like the active braking. Just read there. Yeah, it's just about, it just basically automatically applies the brake if the brakes if the system detects an going to crash, basically. Oh, I'm trying to, come on. Yeah, I thought there were a page stuck. Yeah, the Ford Sync like the CD entertainment system with the sat nav and the CD radio player. So it says here, and just voice activation as well, voice control, and the 8-inch touchscreens. That's on the Z-Tech spec and above, which my parents' Focus is a Z-Tech. Yeah, it's just about the park assist features. That's features on some models that as an option. It's optional. It's standard on Titanium X, which is like the top spec version of the Focus and Focus Mk3, and it was just optional on the ZTEC X and Titanium as part of the convenience packets. Basically, the cardboard lights steer by itself into a parking space, and you just controlled it through controlled the accelerator, brake, and gears basically. And park out was out, works it on reverse, getting you out of the parking space. So yeah, and here's some of the options that were available with the Mk3 Focus, like the driver alert. I just warned you that if it detected like you were getting tired. Lane keeping assist, cruise control. See, these are options on, for I think, certain models, and traffic sign recognition, like for the on the sat nav system. Rear view camera. Is that programmable marquee? You can focus in. Paddle gear shift on that automatic models. LED running lights. Heated steering wheel. There's just some of the options here. It features the Focus ST. The 2-litre EcoBoost engine, the 250 horsepower. Very nice. Yeah, and let's see, the Mk3 and 3.5 Focus came in like a 5-door hatch and estate. They ditched the 3-door hatch and convertible and saloon for the UK market. I've seen pictures of a Mk3 and 3.5 saloon that's for markets outside the UK. Whether I didn't know whether were Europe, North America, or Asia, but I know Ford definitely did make a saloon version of the Mark 3.5, just not for the UK market, which is what this brochure is for. It's the UK market version. Yeah, and here's the trim levels. Yeah, the base spec style. Obviously, the Mark 1 equivalent would have been the CL, but the Mark 3.5, it had the steel wheels. Still got the stability control and traction control. Hill start assist. This is just external features it's on about. And just the engine choices, you had the 1-litre EcoBoost, the last version of the Sigma, the 1.6 Ti VCT, and then the 2 diesels. Yeah, my mum and dad's is the ZTEC spec. So yeah, this one got the 16-inch 5x2 alloy wheels, the chrome front grille. I'm focusing. Obviously the heated front and rear windscreen, chrome along the doors, if you can see there. Sorry about the camera. Yeah, and front fog lights. Yeah, just over the style. Yeah, and it came in the 1-litre EcoBoost and the 1.5 diesel. And see obviously then you had the ZTEC air switch light, just added like seemed to add a sportier body style on outside, along with the bigger wheels, as you can see there. And then got top of the range is that titanium. These titanium effectively replace gear, which is what Ford's old top spec used to be on the Mark 1 Focus, and then the Mark 2. I think the titanium was introduced on the Mark 2 Focus, but the gear kept on going in the Mark 2. And I don't know whether it was during Mark 2 production that Ford killed off gear, or it may have been at the end of Mark 2 production, and then Ford just used titanium and Titanium X from the Mark 3 Focus onwards. So yeah, these are the top spec of the cooking Mark 3 models, that the non-sporty models, I should say. Yeah, now we're on like the interior specs here. So This is at the style at the base spec model. So you only got a bit small screen there. Yeah, 4.2 inch display, manual air conditioning, even on the base spec model. So electric front windows. Yeah, we still got quite a good, decent range of equipment on the base spec model. And this is the Z-Tech, my parent spec model. So you've got the 8-inch touch screen, and got the driver's armrest that opens up to give a bit of storage. Sport style front seats, leather trim steering wheel, and the Z-Tech S adds the metal covered pedals in the footwell. You have a power, like a push button start rather than a key start. And then come up to the titanium. Yeah, dual zone climate control. Got with the titanium over manual air conditioning. Yep, and then we get to the top of the range titanium X, and it's like we pretty much get everything, like heated front seats, rear view parking camera, partial leather seats, obviously the lighting in the footwells and door handles, as you can see on that picture. Yeah, and here we are, we're on to the colour pages now. You can read that. Here we are, yeah, and start here, race red. This is what my parents' Focus colour is, it's race red. And the other red that we saw earlier in this brochure is candy red. That's what it was, even though they both look similar. One, the race red, has a bit more bright and popness to it. The candy red's a bit more a darker version of the red. Yep, and then you got that shadow black, frozen white, moon dust silver. Yeah, that's been going for many years, since the early 90s, moon dust silver. Yeah, across a variety of Fords. Magnetic, lunar sky, tectonic silver, iceberg blue, and deep impact blue. So a lot of the colours are a bit more subdued, like, as you can see, compared with like earlier Ford models. I know the early Mark 1 Focuses had a lot more choice of bright colours, like citrus gold, harvest gold spring to mind, the bright blue. Yeah, that looks like a purple. Then you had like the millennium yellow that were on the, or zinc yellow as it's officially called, on the Focus Millennium. Yeah, a lot of them were bright colours, and they had greens in the Mark 1 and not showing the Mark 2 Focus, but there's no greens or yellows of that to be found here. So you see how the changing market for colours affected the, and what people preferred affects what manufacturers will offer. Yeah, and here on about the seat trims, like the colours, well, a lot of it's mainly black. Just seems to like just gone to black rather than, don't seem to offer beige anymore. Yeah, number 2, which is this one, that's the one that's in my parents' Focus. Sorry about the light. Focus, yeah. I'll move on. And the wheel choice as well, a selection of them. It's not got my it's not got the Z-Tech wheels on that my parents' Focus has got on in the pictures here. Well, it did earlier on, but not here. Yeah, obviously you got the steel wheels, and it just goes up through obviously various alloy wheels and options. And this is just like the list of like what was offered. So obviously the style that had the steel wheels, and Yeah. Yeah, I think it's now on about the optional auto high beam and LED lights they could get on as an option on the Focus, because no, my parents doesn't have the auto dim or auto high beam, and just shows how it works. So just adjust the light accordingly with how to give you that the driver the furthest view. I think that's how it's supposed to work. And just to see like what each spec Focus comes with as standard and what are optional. So hopefully you can see. Come on, focus in. Then we move on. A lot of this is that now the specs page, like on other exterior features. Yeah, the park assist, that was an option, but it was standard on Titanium X. Yeah, here we are, the headlights, the automatic on-off, bi-xenon adaptive lighting. That was optional, but standard on the top of the range Titanium X. But parking sensors, there was option of most models, but standard on Titanium and Titanium X. Yeah, and you could just get the option as a option, the front door edge protectors that pops out, and so that just so that protects your door, like if you accidentally bang it on if you park next to another car. Yeah, and there's just some of the options pack you can get. So like a couple of appearance packs. Get on the Z-Tech and Titanium, and appearance pack 2 on Z-Tech X and Titanium X. Like a black style pack, for ST black style pack, that's for the ST 2 and 3. Convenience packs, that's like the active park assist and standard on Titanium X, and driver assistance packs. It's optional across most models. Yeah, and again, it's just like some of the interior features, what are optional and what are standard. Yeah, and that's just like the radio options, like what each model came with, and so it was only the Star that got the smaller screen. Every other model got the larger screen pretty much as standard. If I tell a lie, the smaller screen was on the Star and the base spec ST. And it's just on about that. Some of the other features you can get: traffic sign recognition, in sat nav, and just that the climate control options. Most of them had the style Z-Tech X, and base spec ST had the manual air conditioning. There's Titanium X, and ST 2 and 3 had the automatic climate control. Yeah, and just that seats options that are available. Hopefully you can see it. Apologies again. Yeah, just like the mechanical features, like the power steering and suspension. Yeah, just like safety equipment as standard, which is pretty much everything was a standard. Yeah, it's just on about that the features that has that increases the safety, like the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, active silly stop. Just how it uses sensors to monitor everything about. Yep, and again just says on about safety equipment. Yeah, and this is like the engine range and like the performance and fuel emissions. See, it was all the engines are like stage 6 Euro stage 6 compliant. You know, my parents are the 1 litre E-couples 125 PS version. Apologies for the light. It's 125 horsepower, max speed 120, 0 to 60 11 seconds. MPG 60.1 MPG. Yeah, hopefully you've been able to see all of that, or if you want you can just pause it and have a look through. And just the fuel don't know, it seems to reproduce the same page. I don't know why, or and just like insurance groups, and I think can't remember if insurance groups have changed since this was produced. I know it used to go up to 20, but I don't know if they increased it up to 50. In fact, no, I think the insurance groups had changed by this stage. So as you can see, it's got 24 and 26E there. So yeah, like just like the weight of each model as well. So it gives you like some really thorough information. It's a lot of technical information here. Just colours and trims here. It just shows you like what the colours that are offered and the trim levels that came in. So race red, that's actually just the standard colour that Ford offered the Mk3.5 Focus in. Every other colour was an option, at extra cost. So that probably explains why there's quite a few race red Focuses about, since that was the standard colour. Yeah, because I've seen around where I live, there's quite a few of them about still, just in race red. Obviously people didn't want to pay the extra for the other colours. Yeah, and that's it. It's just on about the finance and packages and everything at the end there, the warranty. So yeah, that's it all there. We've gone through the brochure there. Right, so yeah, that went on longer than I thought it would be, but yeah, so there was quite a lot to go through, especially on the Mk3 Focus brochure. So but I hope you enjoyed that long video, looking at the Mk3 Focus and the Mk2 Focus Cc brochures. And yeah, hopefully it's not been too boring. And if you have any comments or anything to say, just please leave a comment in the description below. And if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a like, and if you want to, please subscribe to the channel. Just any support you can give is much appreciated, and I do try to reply to any comments that are left on my channel as soon as I can. So I'll leave it there. Everybody take care, be kind to each other, stay safe. Bye.